Another chapter was added to the wildest offseason in NFL history on Wednesday. 49ers All-Pro receiver Deebo Samuel reportedly requesting a trade out of San Francisco. One of the league's most electric players apparently doesn't like the way the team is using him and the amount of hits that he's taking. So let's break it down with the boys, plus some sportsbook plays for the NFL draft. Now just 1 week away. DraftKings Contributors Pearce Dietrich, Geoff, Ulrich, Reid, Fowler. Reid, we talked about it a little bit yesterday on a Wednesday edition of the slate with Geoff Ulrich. Which team needs to go after Deebo?
Well, all of them.
Yeah, every team could use him, right?
All 32 teams could use Deebo Samuel, including the San Francisco 49ers, who right now, the BK Sportsbook, are the favorites to have Deebo next year at minus 300. Now, we talked about a handful of teams. Geoff alluded to it like not staying in the NFC, that it's got to go to the AFC, which I do believe. And look, if it's not the 49ers, I think the Jets make the most sense. They have the most draft capital, right? They have the most cap space to allow Deebo Samuel to be there. But the more I think about it, you're kind of, getting an older, look, Deebo Samuel is a great player, but he's only played one full season, I believe. Mm-hmm. And you're kind of getting an older version of what they just drafted last year, which is Elijah Moore. Elijah Moore, towards the end of last season, was that type of player. Like, Deebo Samuel is a lot better than Elijah Moore. But remember what he was doing more on 60 to 70% of the snaps. And then once he got above that, he was amazing. So that's something that you need to think about. And look, if they do get Deebo Samuel, what it means for the draft is they're going cornerback, right, instead of wide receiver at that 10th position.
Okay, Pearce, what could the impact be on the draft here with a week to go and Deebo wanting out of San Francisco?
He's not going anywhere. If you trade for him right now, you're crazy. And this is littered with red flags. I mean, the guy, at first it was he scrubbed his social media. Oh my goodness. And then he wouldn't say why he wanted out. Well, that sounds like a real great player that you want to bring into your team. And now we find out that he's taking too many hits. It's football, dude. What are you doing? He doesn't like his role. They built the entire offense around you. Who would want to bring this guy onto your team? Oh, let's trade for Deebo. He doesn't like getting tackled, and he doesn't like getting the ball. Yeah, that sounds like a great move to bring him in right now. You might want to just wait a little bit. I mean, if you do bring him in, the price has got to be really low. There's no way San Francisco is going to get a high price out of this guy with that kind of baggage. They need to wait a little bit, wait for things to cool down, for the dust to settle, and then maybe you trade him. But then again, the guy just woke up one day and said, I want out. It's not a player that you really want on your team.
Yeah, Geoff, like when I saw that report early this morning that he didn't like the way he was being used and taking hits, I'm like, dude, that's what makes you is the way that you're being used.
Yes, that is true. And I just want to point out that this is basically Groundhog Day, because this is an exact replica of what Pearce said about Tyreek Hill. And what happened there? Tyreek Hill got traded 2 hours after Pearce said that. So goodbye, Deebo Samuel. He's getting traded today. That's pretty much that. He's done. You guys are obviously right. I mean, this is all just a show in the media. I'm not sure what Deebo's talking about getting hits. Maybe he just doesn't want to be used as a running back because he knows that'll shorten his career. It's actually smart. I do think that there are some teams, though, that specifically should be looking at Deebo Samuel. The first one it's the Philadelphia Eagles. They have the cap space. What have the Eagles been doing the last 2 drafts? They've been drafting wide receivers. Devontae Smith looks like a keeper. Jalen Reagor does not. Deebo Samuel can do all the things that Jalen Reagor can't do, which is, catch those quick screen passes, actually break tackles, maybe even go downfield and catch a long ball. He's the perfect fit for this Philadelphia Eagles offense. And guess what? Eagles have 2 first-round draft picks. I think that is the ideal landing spot for Deebo Samuel. And it's ideal because I think that he'll have success right off the bat in that offense with Jalen Hurts. So that's the one team I really have my eye on. I'm hoping that's what happens if he does end up traded. But, sayonara, because Pearce has already given him the kiss of death.
So you don't believe in JJ Arcega-Whiteside anymore? Is he still on that team?
Oh, my God. Maybe.
I don't even know.
Maybe he could be part of a potential trade. Interesting, though, that you went with an NFC team, Geoff.
Yeah, and Geoff likes to flip-flop.
It's true.
Well, no. I mean, I think if there's one NFC team that will get in the mix, it'll be the Eagles, because I did say yesterday, San Francisco obviously going to prefer them to be traded out of conference. I still say that's true, but I just, we're talking ideal landing spots, which teams I think should be looking. I think the Eagles should be looking hard at this.